Hello and welcome back to True Crime Guys podcast. I'm your host, Michael, and Andy is here again with me. Thank you very much, Andy.
Oh man, you know it's actually cooled down a little bit in here. I feel like is it summertime over yet? Is it fall yet?
Not even close.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Not even close, Andy.
Why do I have all these pumpkins yet? I'm so ready.
Andy, just take some more of that ayahuasca and we'll just get through this episode, okay?
Ooh, I'm gonna be seeing Jack Skellington in no time.
You're gonna be seeing something. Like last week, like Gypsy Rose. Like that's what we were looking at last week. For some reason, Gypsy Rose's baby. We're still looking at her face in the freaking headlines, Andy.
Because
for
she
headlines
was
of shenanigans.
Because she was in the news again. But remember, it wasn't about her. Nothing. It's not about her, Michael. It's about that beautiful baby.
Exactly.
Growing inside of her that she gets to take care of and that she gets to love
I
and that she gets to give everything that I didn't get to have growing up. And
that really came through in the announcement photos.
Right.
Did you see those?
I did see
did
those.
You have the pleasure of seeing those?
I was just like, wow, it's not about you at all, is it? It's not about you at all.
No. But we also talked about important stuff on last week, headlines and shenanigans. We also talked about modern day human trafficking.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that still
slavery
happens.
In West Virginia, and also ammo vending machines.
I mean, we are getting close to the borderlands. I'm getting ready for that one, actually.
Yeah.
I actually talked about that case with a few different people afterwards because that was the one that was actually like, did you guys hear there's vending machines that sell bullets? And
right.
Like, shit, where?
Alabama, of course.
Some people were like, shit, where? And some people were like, really? It's like, I'm gonna hang out with the really people.
Can't change teams later, Andy.
I got friends on both sides, okay?
That's right. But guys, yeah, if you haven't checked out headlines, check that out. And you can check out all free episodes early and ad-free with bonus content on patreon.com/truecrimeguys. Also, guys, make sure you subscribe to True Crime Guys on YouTube and give us a follow on social media at True Crime Guys. You guessed it. But today, we're talking about the Ayahuasca Murders. If that is not enough to get your attention.
It's one of those things.
It's got a ring to it.
It's not like our last case. Remember, it's not the ayahuasca that killed someone. It's not like the mushrooms. Remember, the mushrooms killed that person. It's not,
no.
The ayahuasca didn't do it.
Not that, no, but
Yeah.
it could have helped.
It was a factor. It was a factor.
We'll talk about it. Because today we're talking about a Canadian man who murdered an 81-year-old shaman in the Peruvian jungle before being brutally murdered by villagers who took justice into their own hands. Now, the safety of ayahuasca, an ancient hallucinogenic brew, if you're unfamiliar, is being called into question, as me and Andy alluded to. A lot of people like to blame ayahuasca in this, but I feel like there was money involved. Andy?
Oh, greed?
Yeah.
Human error? Really?
That's probably it. But we'll start with the man who pulled the trigger. Okay, Sebastian Woodruff. He was born in Barrie, Ontario in 1976. When he was young, he was a prankster. He took pleasure in getting his friends out of their comfort zones. He liked making people feel uncomfortable.
Oh, he's a pot stirrer?
Yeah. He liked to do
buttons.
that.
Yeah, push buttons.
Yeah, you don't know anything about that, Andy.
Nope. Shut the fuck up.
But he was also affable and popular, the kind of guy who would like go on walks down the street and would constantly be stopped by people he knew.
Oh, yeah, that's not me, actually.
No. You take the good with the bad.
There we go. I'm clear.
That's it. As an adult, Woodruff never had much direction in terms of a career. Money just became less and less important to him, really. So he just kind of drifted between jobs and construction. He really ran the gamut on jobs here. Construction, tree planting, and then sea urchin diving.
What?
It's like he just wanted to. It's like he went construction, right? And then he was like, "Oh my God, we are killing so many trees. Look at all this wood that I'm building with. We're killing so many trees. I need to plant some trees." So then he goes to tree planting, and he's like, "Oh my God, this fucking hot sun. Where's the shade? There's no trees out here.
It's fucking hot out here.
Yeah, this sucks. I think I want to go swimming."
This guy just
see what I mean?
This guy
just moves jobs. He's just like, I got to change my life up, man.
This guy just casually evolved into a hippie, just being like, man, it's hot. No, it's even hotter here.
I don't know if diving for sea urchins is a good or bad thing. Probably a bad thing.
I really don't know. Sea urchins. I remember my ex-wife stepped on a sea urchin one time, and that was like it ruined like 3 days of our trip. Just being like, yeah, your
Ugh.
foot is awful now. I'm sorry.
So maybe it's good that people are going and getting them.
Yeah, I mean, I have a personal vendetta against them, but that might just be me.
I'm sure they serve some purpose, Andy.
I don't know. I'm not a marine biologist. That
Yeah.
place is horrific down there. I don't like to mess with anything in
Who
there.
cares? This ain't a sea urchin podcast, anyways. But in his early 30s, old Woodruff had a son, but his relationship with the child's mother didn't last. But he did remain a committed father. They did the co-parenting thing, and they did it very well, from what I understand. And this is family and friends all spoke to this account.
Okay.
But when he didn't have his son, he was hippie. You know what I'm saying? He's doing crazy shit, right? But according to friends and family, Woodruff cared little for material things. For him, having oneness with nature was the ultimate life goal. That's what he told his followers on one of his video blogs, The Sacred Circle. He said, quote, "Get your shoes on, go out into the woods, and talk to the plants, talk to the birds." Andy.
See, not even a real hippie. I see that in your first statement.
You
Get
said
your
put
shoes on.
Wow.
Your shoes.
How are you going to get grounded?
How are you really going to feel the grass? How are you really going to feel Gaia on your soles?
You literally can't get grounded through those Nikes, bro.
What are those, Vibrams?
I don't care if they're Crocs. You are not getting grounded up
I don't even care if they're the toe shoes. I don't even care if you
Nope.
got your toe shoes on.
Nope. You need to go skin to earth.
Skin to skin like mother and child.
That's right. Now, naturally, his love for the outdoors went hand in hand with his strong spiritual side, and he became interested in indigenous North American cultures. He even participated in an annual Sundance ceremony, which was actually a very brutal ritual that basically consisted of physical punishment and fasting. Andy, let me give you a little example. In one part of the dance, the lucky participant get to tether themselves to a pole by piercing a hook through their chest.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
isn't
the
that
lucky
fun?
ones?
Man. That's just that's how you know you're really spiritual, man.
It's like, what are the unlucky
You
ones have to
pinned
pierce it through?
yourself to a pole through your chest. Man, that's some Vlad the Impaler shit right there.
Like, what is this, a
I
Saw
don't even
game?
know how that works.
Yeah,
right?
I don't want to. Is there like a TV that just told me that I want to play a game at this point? What am I doing here? I don't want to pin myself to a pole, but I mean,
Well,
yeah, I guess I guess these different ceremonies. I've seen some of those like tribalistic ceremonies and stuff where there is like actual like physical pain involved and it's
Yeah.
part of the spirituality of it. I'm just like, yeah, can I take the drugs? Can I just take the hallucinogen instead? I don't want to hurt, actually.
well, for him, he found purpose in it, right? Yeah, he found purpose. But everything changed for Woodruff in 2013. That year, his family staged an intervention for a relative who had been struggling with alcohol addiction. Now, for Woodruff, the experience was extremely eye-opening. He began to think about addiction and suffering in a whole different way. He said the drink problem comes not from the drink itself, but the family. This is something that he said on one of his video blogs, and he went on to say, there are so many unresolved issues, so much trauma. It's as if the spirit of our family has been hurt, end quote.
I love how this guy's acting like it's such an eye-opening like discovery. It's like, wait a minute, alcohol's not the problem. I never thought about it this way.
No, but he wanted to be the solution. So he decided to become an addiction counselor. Never before has a path been so clearly laid out for me, he wrote online. Old ways of thinking, he believed, were preventing alternative methods, like plant-based medicines, from playing a larger role in treatment. Quote, I want to integrate knowledge and healing from other parts of the world to help bring these numbers up, he wrote.
Wow. All right, Ted. Jesus.
Okay, so one of these remedies he had to bring these numbers up was, of course, ayahuasca. He discovered the drug through his brother-in-law, who had tried it at a ceremony in British Columbia. I could see him coming back. Dude, you ever tried ayahuasca, bro? You ever even heard of it? You ever heard of DMT? Basically the same thing.
My brother-in-law.
Basically the same thing.
Oh my God, my brother-in-law one time, he went to Burning Man and he brought me the stuff back. Jesus Christ, Sebastian.
Exactly. So Woodruff learned that it can be therapeutic And it can help treat severe depression along with other mental health issues, like addiction.
Oh, okay.
So in late 2013, he launched a crowdfunding campaign to help fund his career as an addiction counselor focused on plant-based medicine. Just be like, I want to start a career. People give me money.
I'm gonna have a GoFundMe.
I want to be this now. So I need money to do it. So guys, it's going to be for good stuff.
Can you guys please? I'm gonna please like and subscribe. I really want all my followers to help me experiment with different types of drugs that I want to try and learn and see if I can then take these drugs and maybe help others with them.
Yes, the problem is I need money to do that, guys.
So I need a lot of money to buy all these drugs. Right. It's for research, guys. It is for research.
It's
I need to buy large quantities of hallucinogens and probably a little weed, but like some.
Well, guess what? We're laughing, but he raised over $2,000 Canadian. Buddy, that's like 3,000 American dollars or something.
I have no idea at this point.
I know the Canadian dollar is worth less than the American dollar, actually. You know how I know that? Because prices of books. Every time I go to Books A Million, I'm like, $19.99, okay. $25 in Canada? Pfft, suck it, Canada.
Yeah. Keep your syrup.
But anyways, he raised just over $2,000 Canadian dollars, and in September of 2014, traveled to the Peruvian jungle city of Iquitos to study under ayahuasca shaman Olivia Arevalo. Now, over the next 3 years, Woodruff made several more trips to Peru and continued to take ayahuasca in ceremonies near his hometown as well. But he soon seemed disillusioned with life. Friends said that he could be quite distant and erratic. And in Facebook posts in 2016 and 2017, he professed to feeling lonely and low and wanting to be with friends.
Oh, so the guy who was taking ayahuasca and hallucinogens regularly all the time,
completely becoming detached from reality, missing reality.
Yeah, started becoming a little off.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder why. The guy whose brain's not firing all cylinders anymore.
Seriously. In 2017, Woodruff started to unravel. He was continuing to use ayahuasca as well as prescription drugs. His family was having problems back home, but most likely he was becoming mostly frustrated with the Arevalo family. Not to mention, he's on antipsychotics while taking ayahuasca.
Oh, yeah, this is a good cocktail, right? Let's just mix this hand in hand. All right, let's go.
Exactly. So the issues with the Arevalo family, apparently, Woodruff gave them some sort of money, maybe some of the money that he raised for this startup, because he wants to start this ayahuasca therapeutic retreat, right? And obviously he wants the Arevalo family to be a part of it and help him run it because they're the experts.
Yeah, kind of like his guides or somewhat.
Right. So basically his representative that he ends up dealing with is the son of Olivia. Mm-hmm. Okay? Yeah. Olivia is the 81-year-old shaman. Now, so allegedly he had given him some money. It's some type of business affiliation. In March of 2018, he went to the police. This is seemingly irrelevant, but we'll come back to this. But he was claiming that he was robbed and his passport was taken. Okay, this is March of 2018. Okay, now around this time, he's leaving positive Facebook posts. He's talking about how he's liking life, he's loving things are turning around, but he also is saying that he's leaving his current residence due to a disagreement. Okay. So that is March of 2018. Now, just a month later in April, Facebook has already changed, Andy. He's not enjoying life right now. He's having a rough go. Please send prayers.
Okay, so now you're asking for prayers. Earlier you were asking for money.
Yeah.
Why not ask for money to get out of here, to go home, to fix whatever situation you're in? You already asked for a bunch of money to get your ass down there. Oh, did all the ayahuasca run out now? And you're just like, I really need some good vibes now. Actually, guys, it's pretty weird down here now.
Yeah. Well, he was kind of he was on edge, and he was getting ready to make a drastic decision. Because on April 19th, 2018, Woodruff told his roommate he was going to take ayahuasca, and he drove straight to Olivia's house. Woodruff arrived in Victoria Gracia at noon. Once he pulled into the settlement, he stopped at a gray wooden house. He climbed off the motorcycle that he'd ridden there, and he yelled for Julian. Julian Iravallo being Olivia's grandson, or Olivia's son, rather. When Julian appeared at the window, Woodruff opened fire. Julian ran out the side door into another building, and 81-year-old Olivia Iravallo went out her door to talk Woodruff down. The other villagers had spotted Woodruff at this point, and he turned to escape but found Olivia Iravallo blocking his way. Panicked, he fired once, and then again.
I did wonder about this part in the story. It's like, did you think he actually fired to because he was mad at her, or was it almost like a scared reaction?
Well, at one point in time, I don't know exactly where it fits in. I don't know if it's right before he shoots her or if it's right when he pulls up. But at some point in time during this altercation, he screams for her to heal his family back home of their issues, because in his defense, she told him that she could do that. And he was asking for that, I guess, as payment, as settlement for this debt.
Oh, okay. So yeah, this seems like a bit of a this is one of those stories when I looked into it as well. It's like you kind of can't
It's a
really
lot
tell.
more.
Like, is somebody conning somebody? Is somebody like, are they conning him? Is somebody taking advantage of him? Is somebody just on too many drugs? There's so many things at this part of the story when they're down there in Peru, and it's kind of a lot of he said, she said, the village said, the witnesses said. It kind of feels like it's one of those like. It almost like feels like a con job. Like you feel like maybe this Sebastian guy was trying to con other people to maybe come down here and spend way too much money to have this boring Sebastian guy take you on an ayahuasca trip in Peru. But in reality, it was these like people who were actually conning him to try and get more money out of him before they like sold the business to him or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's hard to tell. Like,
Or they were just seeing how much he would invest.
Yeah, possibly. But yeah, it's hard to really tell at this point in the story. It's like, was he just getting too deep into drugs, or was there some shady business dealings on both sides?
So check this out, right? You have to realize, before Sebastian showed up and had this great idea, Olivia was doing this out of her house already.
Mm-hmm. She's already the village
People were
shaman.
traveling from all over the world to see her. She's renowned. There's YouTube videos of her singing in her native language and all this. There's all kinds of stuff. Like, she's world famous. Lots of people know about her.
Okay.
Like, Sebastian's nobody. Like,
okay.
Honestly, like, he just wanted to profit off of her and make it like a structure, you know what I mean? And like an actual place for people to come and can purchase, you know, their stays or whatever. But in reality, she was already doing this. So like when you come offering money to do this, she's going to be like, yeah, I'll take that for doing that because that's what I'm doing.
I wonder how much Julian also was involved in this as well. So maybe it was like, if
Julian
maybe her
was involved
son,
in it quite a bit.
Like if maybe if her son was kind of the guy being like, oh yeah, Sebastian, yeah, I'll tell my mom. What do you need? Yeah, what do you need? Yeah, I think that should probably cost about $2,000, probably $2,000. Yeah, $2,000 sounds good.
Yeah,
like just some guy kind of being like, yeah, I'll tell my mom what you need.
Yeah, exactly.
It's good.
Yeah. So we left off with Woodruff firing the gun and striking Olivia. So he gets back on his motorcycle. He actually manages to scurry back, get on his bike, and he tries to start the engine, but it's actually really difficult to start because the switch, the ignition switch, was actually pretty tricky. He always had trouble starting it, according to a neighbor. And as the villagers closed in, he forced the engine to life and he took off. But he hit a dip in the road and he kind of swayed to the side and lost control, and instantly he was surrounded. Some villagers wanted to take him to the police, but they were pretty much completely ignored. Meanwhile, Olivia was dying beneath a coconut tree, embraced by her daughter. And she was quoted as saying, "They are killing me. They are killing me." That's interesting choice of words. Is she referring to the crowd? You know, because instead of getting help for her, they're worried about justice. Or is she saying like they're killing her story, her life, because now it's all going to be surrounded. It's all going to come to this one big event that caused her death instead of everything she worked for to build this whole life.
I think it probably, my personal thing would probably be lean towards the first one of those of being like, they're killing, like, no, you guys aren't killing him. You're killing me by taking vengeance on him. Like, if you guys would let him go and get me help, like, we might make it through. Like, I might make it through this.
Yeah.
That's kind of my opinion on this. But at the same time, this part of the story is so fucking, like, nail biting cinematic when you're imagining what's actually
dark.
happened. Like, if him, like, shooting her.
We don't even have to imagine, Andy, that the reason this case is gotten so much attention is because of the cell phone video that depicts Woodruff's death, which is exactly at the point we're talking about right now.
Mm-hmm. Just to see him, like, shoot her, and that, like, after those, like, first two, those shots rang out, there was, like, just a pause, like, just a silence for a second, and then just screams of everybody in that town, just or village coming at him, and him trying to get back on that bike and just just everyone just trying to kick that thing start. And
it's terrifying.
But yeah, but it's like I said, it's so nail biting. It's like almost like that Green Inferno movie or something like that. Like just this tribe coming at you to kill you. But it's like, yeah, because you killed their shaman. Like you just killed the most important person in their village.
Exactly.
And it's like,
their healer, their guidance, their everything, man. One article I read was praising her and her accomplishments and whatnot. And one article said that she had memorized like thousands of plants and their uses.
I believe it, yeah.
There was like almost nothing that grew in their native area that she didn't know how to use in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's insane. All right, so we mentioned the video, the really grainy, crappy cell phone video. I'm going to describe to you what happens in that video because it's the truth. It's the video. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We know. So basically, what happens, it starts off and Woodruff is struggling to stand. He's wearing jean shorts and a black sweatshirt, and then he's lying in a puddle. He's moaning. Around him, a crowd has formed. The villagers are screaming, "Why did you kill her, you son of a bitch?" Then a man in a baseball hat tries to put a seatbelt around Woodruff's neck. He fights him off, and he refuses. Then the man tries again and gets the noose tied around his throat this time, and someone shouts, "Pull, pull." He and a partner drag Woodruff into the grass. He's lying face down now, arms at his side, not moving. The man holding the noose drops it. Woodruff's head moves. The man pulls it tight again, and then the video shuts off.
Yeah, it's a dark bit of footage. It is not for the squeamish.
I didn't watch it.
I've seen clips of it before, and it's one of those hard things. I saw the
stills. I'm like, nah, I'm good on that, man.
Yeah, I've seen clips of that, and it's not for anybody who's squeamish, but it's the reality of what happened. This guy he killed the most important person in this village, like hands down the most important person in this village, and the entire just population turned on him.
Yep.
Like, I know we've talked about this before on on different episodes like that of Richard Ramirez and the Night Stalker, of like the town like just chasing him through the streets.
Yeah.
Who were pissed off because one guy had like killed a few random people in their town. It's like, what if you had killed like the most important person to everybody in town? It's like it'd literally be a absolute nightmare of trying to escape.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, you're not running from a small mob. You're running from the whole town.
No, you took so much from them. That's why they wanted to take justice into their own hands. This footage was originally posted on Facebook April 21st, 2018, on the page of a Peruvian news outlet. When local authorities saw it, they knew immediately who the white man was. For the past 48 hours, they'd been searching for Woodruff, ever since 81-year-old shaman named Olivia Arevalo had been shot and killed in Victoria Gracia. Police found her lifeless body beneath a coconut tree, with 2 bullet holes in her chest and 3 spent .380 ACP cartridges just a few yards away. The villagers have been emphatic that the killer was the gringo, but Woodruff was nowhere to be found.
Yeah, that's probably a pretty good little question and answer from the police there, like a little interrogation. It's like, okay, so there's her body. It's like, who did it? It's like, crazy gringo. He that crazy white guy? It's like, yeah, where'd he go?
But you saw him kill her. Yeah.
Yeah, he's...
Which way you go?
Just a whole bunch of shrugs.
But after reviewing the clip, The officers returned to Victoria Gracia, where they discovered Woodruff's body about 700 yards from the village, wrapped in a blue sheet. He was buried in a 2-foot grave. His face and body were purple with bruises, and his clothes were coated in dirt and dried blood. Ricardo Jimenez, the lead prosecutor, said when Woodruff's body was found, forensic experts quickly pieced together that he had indeed killed Olivia Arevalo, as the villagers had all exclaimed. Officers discovered his silver Taurus handgun buried in a nearby cemetery, and forensic experts matched the cartridges found near Olivia's body with the gun.
I'm surprised they even put the gun in a separate spot. I'm surprised they didn't just drop the gun right there on him.
I know, really.
It's like, yeah, it's right there. We don't want this gun here. It's right there with the body.
And just in case you thought, they might have framed him by taking his gun because he got robbed, but gunshot residue was found on the sleeves of Woodruff's sweatshirt. But what remained uncertain was whether ayahuasca had played a part or not. So we don't know how much ayahuasca Woodruff was taking during this period. Several villagers alleged that he had actually stopped taking it when he had visited, and the autopsy reports were all inconclusive.
Yeah, I figure what his tolerance level would have been at this point, too, must have just been a different level as well.
Yeah, it would probably be getting pretty up there.
Yeah. So even if he had taken a little bit, it's like for what a little bit for him would have been like a lot for somebody else would have still been in their system, but him may have just been like microdosing.
It's already out.
Yeah.
Microdosing on ayahuasca.
Yeah,
that's
definitely
not a good idea, I don't think.
No, that's like microdosing peyote. No, I'm just sipping on some peyote today. Just a little sip of just a little sip.
And here we go. But as many villagers attested, his frequent visits were usually with one man, Julian, who, as we mentioned earlier, was Olivia's son. Investigators believe that the men had some sort of business relationship, but maybe things had soured. And believe it or not, by this point, the police actually had a pretty good profile on Woodruff. This wasn't his first dealings with the police. His first run-in is when he wandered into a police station near the center of Bacalpa, asking to buy a gun. Woodruff had been trying for months to get a hold of a gun, and the police were his last resort.
I thought this was America. I thought you could just get a gun.
Well, listen,
this was America.
Hey,
this is South America.
He's got a pretty good excuse, though. Using Google Translate, he told an officer that he was going into the jungle and needed protection from animals.
How about you just get a guide? How about you go hire that guy who I know can protect you in the jungle,
right?
Sebastian.
I'll tell you why he didn't tell him that, because he offered him a lot of money. The officer said the gringo was offering such a high price. That's why he did it.
Okay.
Whatever. He paid about $900 American for the gun.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Exactly. The acting magistrate in charge of the investigation described the purchase as abnormal, but not illegal. It's not illegal. I mean, he's buying a gun it's a personal gun of the officers. You see what I'm saying? It's it's just like people selling guns privately here all the time.
Yeah, I didn't sell him my state issued, or I didn't issue my issued revolver. This is my gun. I bought this with my own money.
Exactly.
I can make my own money on it.
Also, according to police reports, on April 14th, he came into the station claiming that 2 men dressed as police officers stole his backpack. Okay? That is what we were referring to earlier when he was robbed in 2014. Okay? Also, a report filed by Iravelo's daughter, Virginia Vasquez, stated that Woodruff turned up in Victoria Gracia holding a sign written in Spanish that said Julian owed him 14,000 soles, or about $4,000. And she said, quote, "My brother would have never borrowed money like that."
That is also the weirdest way to try and collect a debt in a town that you don't live in. I'm going to go to a town in a country I'm not from, so many thousands of miles away, and I'm just going to write a sign in the native language that says, "This guy in town owes me a bunch of money." It's like, do you think that's going to work? Like, do you think that's your best way of collecting a debt in this town?
Well, he's holding it outside he's holding it outside the Arevalo house. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's hoping that Olivia will see it, Julian will see it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's standing outside their house. She was just there.
Like I said,
visiting.
I get that, but it's still, it's like, is this what you think? This is how you think a debt gets repaid? Like, I'm just going to hold out a sign in front of your house. It's like,
Right.
it's just, in case you forgot.
Maybe he thought
much money.
Maybe he thought the dishonor would be enough for them to pay up. He was like, "All right, I'm coming back with a gun."
I'm just going to keep embarrassing you until you pay me. You're embarrassing yourself, Sebastian.
Yeah, but we can't forget that this was not the only crime. 6 months after the double murder, the district prosecutor in Pucallpa said that he was frustrated that the 4 suspects in Woodruff's lynching, which had been identified, still hadn't been apprehended. They're hiding in the jungle, he says. On the other hand, he was sure of who killed Olivia, stating that, quote, all the evidence points to Woodruff firing the shots that day.
Yeah, I'm sure nobody in the village actually said who did it, but in the footage, you can see people's faces. Like, you can see some of the
yeah.
people's faces in the town.
They know exactly who
So
did
it's
it.
like, yeah, maybe nobody in the town was like, yeah, it was that person. It's like, but as soon as someone saw that video, it was like, isn't that, hey, where'd he go? Damn it, he's in the jungle. Ah, God damn it.
Well, he gone.
He gone. Help, damn it.
Yeah. Nellie Vasquez said that her grandmother's death has made her more suspicious of outsiders. Even if Woodruff was an anomaly, before he came, she said, we lived a peaceful life. We didn't bother anyone. Now she feels haunted by the gringo.
God, you and so many other people, lady.
Right. The ayahuasca community has made efforts to acknowledge the murder of Olivia, like moving the annual shamanism?
Shamanism.
Okay. Like moving the annual shamanism conference to Pucallpa in honor of the dead shaman. They wanted to show Shipipos that gringos are not insane and that people are forgetting about what happened. A local business owner echoed the sentiment and stated, no one is talking about it anymore, she said. It's like they all just kind of moved past it. It's almost like the justice was so great that it's forgiven.
To an extent.
It's like, okay,
yeah.
they feel like he paid for his debt by being brutally murdered in the street like that.
It's like you took this person away from the community, and the community got you back immediately. There was no time for a trial. There was nothing. There was none of that back and forth. And
no,
to be honest,
it makes it wrap up kind of nice, you know.
To an extent, too, with this
shit.
for someone of a lifestyle like that, it probably was. It was kind of like just being like, yeah, we don't need to be spending years dreading and missing and living without. It's like, no, we have to move on. And like she probably had had taught some of her teachings to her children and other people, and being like, no, now someone else needs to step in, and we have to have somebody else be our town shaman and begin teaching these same traditions. And it's not like I said, it's not a position that just like goes unfulfilled. Like there needs to be someone in these communities who takes up that role.
Absolutely. So, and I'm sure there were plenty of apprentices and whatnot, but still, losing your elder like that, 81 years old.
Yeah.
And she's still in her right mind, still living independently and whatnot. Like, that's incredible.
And apparently had helped a lot of people before, too.
Dude,
like,
she could have had another 10, 20 years. You don't know, man.
In a culture like that, with some of those just all natural diets, some of those just like never touched a thing of processed plastic or corn syrup in her life.
No microplastics.
Never heard of a carcinogen.
Right. I'll tell you something else that's all natural, and that's Oh My Gaia, Andy.
Ooh, that's so all natural.
It's so all natural.
I've heard it's aluminum free, right?
It absolutely is, and paraben free.
Oh my God, and parabens?
Yeah, that's right. It's an innovative all natural deodorant, fragrance, and beard oil company.
Wow.
That's right. They have tons of scents, Andy, from vanilla, cherry almond, sandalwood, lavender, lemongrass, Egyptian musk, coconut, dreamsicle, leather, lumberjack, honeysuckle, fireside, bergamot, amber, pear, sweet pea, sailor, barbershop. And we have our very own scent, of course, True Crime Pine.
Oh, of course, a True Crime Pine. And that's what I wear every day. That's why
you got the beard oil?
That's why his beard is so naturally, naturally soft. It's an all natural, it's an all natural oil, so it's naturally soft.
I was wondering why it was shimmering over there.
Right?
I didn't know you had the True Crime Pine on today.
Float in the wind.
You're going to blind me with the glare. But guys, because you're True Crime Guys listeners, you can use the code word CREEPER for 15% off your order. That's CREEPER for 15% off at ohmygaia.com. That's OHMYGAIA.com. And there's a link to it right below the description of this episode. And CREEPER is spelled out too, in case you don't know how to spell it.
Yeah, K.
Boom. No,
W.
Andy, damn it. Is there anything else, Andy? What are we listening? Patreon. Guys, you could have heard this episode yesterday. What are you doing without all those freaking ads? So many ads, I don't even know what they are.
And you could have heard a bunch of there's a bunch of content coming up afterwards.
It sucks. Like, inflation is a bitch. I hate having to put all these ads in the episode. But if you don't want to hear them, you can just give us $2 a month, and you don't have to hear them.
Talk about some inflation right there.
Seriously, $2 a month. We need to charge more. Honestly, we need to up our prices.
We need to inflate our pockets a bit.
Patreon.com/truecrimeguys, where you can inflate our pockets. And we'd appreciate it very, very much, guys, for all the work that we put on here at True Crime Guys. But like I said, you can not only get episodes of this show early, ad-free, with bonus content, but also Strange and Unexplained, early and ad-free as well. Or you can listen to regular episodes of Strange and Unexplained every Monday on the free platform, and True Crime Guys every Thursday.
There we go.
All right. Anything else? Check our music out on Spotify. True Crime Guys as an artist. At True Crime Guys on social media. Give us a follow on Instagram, Facebook. Are we on X? Are we still on X?
I think so. It says like auto posting maybe. It's a dead market out there. It's a weird just wasteland. It's a weird little fallout wasteland out there.
Like, let's just call it X. I just want it to die.
I'm gonna log on and just see a ghoul pop up every once in a while.
Yeah. Either way, guys, hit us up if you got a case suggestion. Send us an email, truecrimeguys@gmail.com. All right, if you just want to send us money out of nowhere, you can hit up our PayPal at truecrimeguys@gmail too. Just saying. You know, one-time donation, we'd appreciate it very much, guys. All right, that's pretty much it. Subscribe on YouTube, and other than that, we'll see you next week. New True Crime Guys case.
Yes, we will, guys.
All right, till then, just keep it on creeping.
Bye.